Look how beautiful and massive nature is. This tree is humongous. It's humongous. And it looks like, for whatever reason, that center branch broke. It looks like it might have fell on a few headstones. It seems like this one like threaded the needle. That's interesting. Like, what kind of luck do you have to have for your final resting place to literally be unscathed? Wow. That's interesting. That's cool. But this is not why I brought you guys over here, y'all. I'm just looking at this, giving y'all a good shot of this tree and how it's just like engulfing these headstones. Like, it's dope that a lot of them seem to not have been affected, but I feel like there's a few. Is there a few? Or did everybody over here make it pretty unscathed? That one there just bent a little bit. You see it underneath that branch? Yeah. Dang. But like, what can you do? I don't know. But look at this. So y'all, I was driving and I was passing by all of these tombstones or headstones, and then I ran across this name, and it made me slow down. Tell me what you think. I was like, I know that didn't say Mary Ellen. I know it didn't say Mary Ellen. But then it says Mary Allen. Born in 1857, passed away in 1910. And I was like, we're off by like one letter? Like, maybe it's worth the conversation. Let's see. What is going on, Graveyard Shift family? I don't know if you can see it, but I got this little microphone. I'm gonna adjust it so maybe you can hear me a little bit better. I don't like this wire, but it's just something that I found around the house, and I knew I was gonna be outside in Tennessee, so I didn't know if it was gonna be windy or what. So yeah, we're gonna see how this works out. Y'all, I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm about to meet up with my boy Mark, my boy, y'all's new friend. We are in Nashville to do some more shooting for Why They Hunt. Thank you for everybody who tuned in to Why They Hunt. Number 2, y'all, June the 18th, our Shifting Ain't Easy shirts drop, y'all. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And number 3, y'all, I know some of y'all said y'all miss me being in the videos. Y'all don't like when I just do the eavesdropping sessions. And I know some of y'all love when I do the eavesdropping sessions. So I look at it like this, y'all. I feel like we're doing research. I don't want y'all to look, I do want y'all to look at this like a show, but I want y'all to not look at it like a show and kind of look at it like you're doing a real time investigation with me. So we're just trying to figure this out together, y'all. We've been doing this since November. I feel like anytime we get under trees, there's just like, you got this big, massive tree, this tree that's broken, these headstones, Mary Allen. It's just a lot of energy over here right now. But I feel like we're just trying to figure this out every video. So we gotta try new experiments, just the same way that we did my baby girl's flashcards, or we do the number game, or we ask questions. I feel like it's something to just setting the box out and just hearing if conversations exist with us not being there. Because, I don't know. I feel like that answers, or it gives us a million more questions about what we're doing. So I'm not going to do it all the time, But I do want to do it sometimes. And I did a series, and y'all made me feel self-conscious about posting it, because I was like, dang, maybe they don't want to see videos of just in the graveyard and over listening. But I felt like I had an opportunity to do an interesting experiment. And I went back to the Marietta Confederate Cemetery, the cemetery that has all the different Confederate soldiers from different southern states buried, but smack dab in the middle is a slave burial ground. So I did what I call fly on the wall session, where I set the camera and left it rolling in the spirit box at the slave burial, and then I did it at the Confederate soldier side. And I just wanted to see if those conversations would be different without us being there. So come on, y'all, just work with me, man. I know y'all get accustomed to certain things, and I do too. But we gotta keep growing, and I'm never gonna stop doing these, but we gonna try other stuff. I apologize for all the church announcements. That is the glory of God, for the message of God, to the people of God, all be to God. Did they used to make y'all say that in church? I forgot, that ain't even how it go, but that's like the flow of it. All right, y'all, here we are. Miss Mary A. Allen. My name is Dalen Spratt. I'm here with a group of people called the Graveyard Shift, and we come to beautiful resting areas and spaces just like this, in some that are in many different stages of not all of them are beautiful. You know, we've been to cemeteries that have been lost in the woods. We've been to resting places that have been abandoned. But our goal is to give light and conversation to those that may not have been spoken to in a long time. So we come in peace, light, and love and respect. And we would love to get to know you. The reason why we stopped here, it drew our attention. We have someone on the other side. It's like we know some people. We know some people on the other side. And her name is Mary Ellen. And it's just one letter off from your name. So yeah, I would love to talk to you, Miss Mary Allen. Miss Mary Allen, are you here? You said hi, yes. This say please hold. Miss Mary, how are you doing today? Did it say healing? That said Adrian. Miss Mary Allen, so that we know it's you, can you tell us what your birth date was? What month were you born in, Miss Mary Allen? Okay. I didn't hear any month, but that doesn't mean that you didn't say it. I have to go back and listen. Can you tell me the name of the person that I'm speaking to right now? That said Rosemary. Is anyone in this resting area here? Us. Let me tell you why that's funny. I said, is anyone in this area here? And a man's voice said, us. Right here is a couple, James P. Allen and Mary A. Allen. So, okay. Okay, James, I'm going to assume that was you? James, how do you like this being your resting place? Yeah, always. You were 60 years old when you passed away. And you were born in Scotland. How did you like living in Nashville compared to Scotland? You say hectic? What brought you to Nashville? Where did you meet Mary? Something about our parents? Do you remember the first time you saw Mary? Mary, are you here too? Just looking at her. Mary, do you remember the first time you saw James? What do you think? What did you first think when you saw James? James, what is the first thing you noticed about Mary? Yo, I gotta go back and listen to all of this. Mary, what was your first impression of James? Did you say a snack? Let me find out. Y'all, let's go and see if we can Google what old James Allen looked like. Mary said James was a snack. For my seasoned audience, a snack is something that looks good that you just want to eat and feast on. Yeah, that makes me wonder, because somebody wrote that on one of my, a lot of people write that. It's like, you shouldn't use modern day colloquialisms in your hood, hippity hoppity words. Why should I not speak in the manner in which I speak? If I say bro or dope, oh my gosh, y'all, this lady lost her mind when I said I called something dope. She was like, you are inspiring kids to do drugs. Whoa, Samantha, chill out. Dope means cool, the same way bad meant good in the 80s. Come on, y'all, man, we got to keep up with the times. But I say all that to say, I believe it's truly naive to assume that spirits are not aware of modern day lingo. Like, if they're intelligent enough to speak to us and communicate with us, why would we feel like they would lose their intelligence that they had when they were living? We all have context clues. We all can read between the lines now. Do you feel like once you pass away, that just goes away? Come on, man. And I feel like just being your authentic self. See, this is why people, I be talking too much, y'all. My bad. Let me get back to this box. But the point is, I feel like being yourself in situations like this works better. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Mary was born in 1857. James was born in 1843. So what y'all want me to come here talking like the King James version of the Bible? Hear ye, James, good brethren, sir. How does the day yonder bring you? No, James, my man, how are you doing today? I feel like he understands. Whew. I had to get that sermon out. Love. Let's back to it. Jane, do you understand when current lingo, current words? Did you not hear yes? Exactly. Can you tell me, can you say a word that's considered new day? All in all. All in all. When y'all think they started saying all in all? They weren't saying all in all, but maybe they was. Maybe they were. Maybe. Maybe. So back to you, beautiful couple. Do you remember y'all's wedding? Uh-oh. How was y'all's wedding? Mary, were you pleased with your wedding? Okay. Are you guys happy together now? Are you both still spending time together in the afterlife? Do y'all still get to go on dates? What was you guys' favorite thing to do when you were alive together? Did it say smoke? What y'all was smoking?
Easy.
I know y'all wasn't smoking what I think y'all was smoking. Yes, sir. Were y'all smoking cigars? Okay. Did they have back then? I know they did not say sell weed. Say man. I know that someone didn't say something about sell weed, but okay, but here we go. Let's think about it. We don't know who we're talking to on the other side. We can think that we're talking to Mr. and Mrs. Allen, and we could possibly be. But that don't mean that Jimmy the pack mover that passed away a couple years ago ain't somewhere in the atmosphere talking about his little hustle that he had going. You feel me? Because we don't know who we're talking to. Mr. and Mrs. Allen, did you guys have kids? Are you with your kids now? Do you have any regrets? Afterwards? What kind of regrets could you have? Are there a lot of spirits resting over here? Said plenty. So, did this tree falling affect any of the people resting here? Uh-oh. How do y'all feel about that tree falling on some of the headstones? Do y'all want someone to remove it? Okay. Well, y'all, it's early in the morning. Yeah. I didn't want to disturb y'all, but I just thought it would be cool to come speak to y'all. But it was to speak to a couple. Yeah, found it. Is there anything that you would like to say to us, James or Mary? What's the key to life? Did it say live? The key to life is to live? Wow. I like that. The key to life is to live. Well, thank you, James and Mary. I guess you gotta leave on a note like that. Love, love, and light. I hope you're resting peaceful. Gotta leave when it say Satan. Y'all, that's cool. The key to life is to live. Ain't it dope when we do sessions like this and we get like little cool messages? I don't know, man. I hate when people say what we doing is like not working, or I'm bullshitting y'all, or like just making this up. I be like, dang, man, we've really put in hours. Y'all, I appreciate y'all for clocking in. We've put in hours of research to see what's going on. And I feel like by now, you gotta at least kinda believe, right? If you don't kinda believe by now, like if it ain't made you kinda question something, then like what are we doing, man? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you just don't believe anything at that point. Like I told a guy to come the other day, say, bro, if you've watched all these videos by now and you still calling BS, and I ain't got nothing for you. I ain't got nothing for you, man, at all. But I think we are making hecka progress. What do y'all think? How do y'all think of the evolution and the progress we're making just with connecting with the other side since day one? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we've seen spirits connect on the other side. We've seen spirits transition, what seems like it, just from us listening. So, you know, yeah, we're going to continue to clock on, shift on. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And yeah, be on the lookout for way more content, y'all. Like, this is my job. And I love it. It's the best job I've ever had. And y'all are the best co-workers I've ever had. Peace. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Mr. and Mrs. Allen, can I serenade you? Any requests? Love never knew what I was. Oh, you thought I wasn't gonna sing to you, girl. Woo! That's a little love song I wrote to you, Mr. James, and to you, Mary. Love, love, love.